I was proud to be part of that program today, where there were so many presentations to people that have earned different awards and levels of achievement. And certainly mine, called the Spirit of Luther Award, is very meaningful to me. It's heartwarming, it's awesome. I'm somewhat overcome. You know, in the early 50s, when I came as a freshman in the fall of 50, Luther College brought in a Wally Johnson as the head football coach, and as his assistant, Edsel Schweizer. And there was the old pro, Hamlet Peterson, who had been here since about 1922, and he was the basketball and baseball coach. And so I had Wally as a freshman and sophomore, and then Wally Johnson was called back to Minnesota, his alma mater. And he became the wrestling coach for the rest of his career, and still a dear, what I would call like a second father to me when I was on the campus. Wally Johnson was one of my favorites. Then Edsel Schweizer took his place and built the football program to what we know it in the 50s, the 60s, and into the 70s, just nationally known. It was just terrific. And it was a thrill to have them as my coaches, both Wally and Edsel and Hamlet. And they were then my mentors. They were the people that kind of gave me the direction. And I happened to graduate in 1954 after the athletic career. And at that time, colleges were keeping some of their students that were graduating to be assistants in the various capacities. And so Luther College asked my teammate Dave Requi, an All-American in football, and they asked Dave and I to stay on and be staff members, which we did. And I came back in 1956 then, after the 2 years of service. And in the first year, I went to the president and the dean, and I asked if I could go to the University of Wisconsin and get a master's degree in my first year back at Luther. And so I did that, and I had a wonderful year at Wisconsin in learning, and I still stayed with Luther as a scouting teams and bringing the information back to Edsel. And so I felt part of being a staff member, faculty member at Luther, even during the year of graduate school. But I loved all the sports in the season that they were. In fact, that's one huge difference for me now, that today these athletes have to specialize all year long for one. And I guess I don't accept that. I think the kids should be in 1 and 2 and 3 sports. Each sport has a different group of people, a different group of friends, a broadening of your horizons, and so I like that. But I know sport is different today than in my day, and they have to be much more prepared to play that game. So first of all, you know, every coach has to have the bread and butter players, the bread and butter winners, the quality, the intelligent, the capable, talented running ability. They have to have that horse. And in that year, the mixture was 2 fifth-year men, because their junior years, one went to London to the university, and one went to France to the university. They took year abroads, and they spent the year away from campus so that then we didn't have them as runners. Well, they had an extra year of eligibility, and so they took classes and ran on our cross-country team. So our team makeup then started with 2 fifth-year seniors. Okay, then we had 3 really quality runners as seniors. And then there was a sophomore, there was a junior and a sophomore, the makeup of the team. And one of the 5th year seniors was 11th. One of the normal seniors was 13th. One of the other 5th year senior was 18th. So those 3 men, the 2 fifth year and the normal senior, their quality and their experience and their ability to concentrate and carry that 5-mile distance gave us a 11, a 13, and an 18. So that's pretty nice to start scoring in cross country, because low scores wins. It was our day, it was our time, it was our kids. It was just terrific for Luther College. I didn't even know about the Iowa Conference when I was in high school. I came from a suburb of Milwaukee called Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. And I knew nothing about Iowa. I didn't really know about Luther College, except maybe through the church when they would talk to the Lutheran colleges. And when I came to Luther in the fall of '50 and got involved in athletics and got involved with the talk of the Iowa Conference and who the other schools were, and that we were all in Iowa and it was an Iowa conference, I want to just say too, in those days, the NAIA was still active and really strongly active. And the NCAA was of College Division I and College Division. And so we got involved in my career, and then into my first 3 years of coaching. Luther College was NAIA and part of the Iowa Conference as NAIA members. And then about 1961, we have a professor then, Warren Berg, was in our accounting department, accounting and management. And he was a sports writer and a faculty rep to the NCAA, which was now getting its roots down through all the way through Division III colleges. And so he was the instrument of encouragement to our college to go NCAA, and that would be with the college division. And that we did, and I want to say 1961-62. And now by that time I had been back at Luther since '56, and I was starting to kind of get down on ground floor and know what was what, know about our conference, the teams that are in our conference, the cities they belong to. I knew we then were this Iowa Conference that joined now the NCAA. And then about 1972, the college division separated into Division II and Division III. As I see society today and sport today and the emphasis on sport and the specialization of sport, I think the student-athlete philosophy is pretty heartwarming, and we're just thrilled with it. And I wish more people believed in it and didn't put the pressures on Division I and II that we see and we feel, because I think our kids really come and have a terrific education with a terrific time in their sport. They don't feel the pressures of I'm paid here to play, so I've got to go out and win. If we don't win, there's something wrong. And I guess I don't agree with that approach to education and athletics.